All right, guys, welcome to the 2022 Supplement Express Desert Games. Today we're gonna go over the workouts. We're gonna go over WOD number 1 first. I have Nick and Miguel with me. We're gonna go through the flow. Then once we go through the flow, we'll go ahead and move on to the standards, talk a little bit about each movement. So first workout for the scale division, they're gonna start off with behind the start finish line. On 3, 2, 1, go. They take off, run to the wall balls, start their wall balls, their synchro wall balls. All right, once they're done with their wall balls, they're gonna move on to their cleans. They're gonna do all 15 cleans in this particular section. The feet have to stay, both athletes' feet have to stay, and they both have to face each other when they're doing this, okay? Once they're done, they drop the barbells, they go back to their wall balls, go to their next set of wall balls, and after they're done with their wall balls, go ahead and come on back, gentlemen. Okay, now move on to the cleans. Now to go on to the next 12, they have to both move the barbells into their specific section and start with their barbell cleans. All right, they'll hit their barbell synchronized cleans. Both athletes have to be inside of the lane. And as they do their cleans, they're done. Back to the wall balls. When they're done, they're gonna move, and you guys can go ahead and move the set of 9 cleans this way. Once the set of 9 cleans are done, give me 1 clean. That is number 9. Drop the barbells, and the time stops when the last athlete crosses the finish line. And that is for WOD number 1. Well, actually after that, since you guys will be a set of 2, you're actually gonna have the third person. They will start off on the wall balls. These guys can change the weight for the third person clean as they're doing the wall balls. And then the single person will go 15, 12, 9, and then run back to the finish line. When he's done, the whole time is done, and that will be the team's time. That's WOD number 1 for scale. All right, guys, for the RX division, we're gonna be doing some handstand walks, and we're actually gonna be turning. So the way this starts is on 3, 2, 1, go. Both athletes will start at the start and finish line. 3, 2, 1, go. First athlete will start, run to the start line, and he'll begin his handstand walk, okay? You have to clear each section of the handstand walk before you pull up. So once he's there, he's good, he can stop and pull over and go again, okay? If he falls in between there, we have to go around, start at the handstand position again, and attempt that section again, okay? Both hands have to go around the cone. They can not go over or step on the cone. Going backwards with it. All right, okay. Once he's done with the whole section, he will tag his partner. And Miguel, go ahead and come over here. And he'll come tag his partner. And the partner will then start his or her section on their handstand walks. And that is the first start of the handstand walk for the RX division. Then they'll have a quick rest, time for us to reset the lanes. And they'll go right into the wall ball and the clean workout, and that flow would be just like the skill. Okay, let's go over the standards for the wall balls. So on the wall ball, most of you guys understand this. The ball has to start on the ground, pick it up, 3, 2, 1, go. Bottom, hip crease has to below the top of the knee, and the ball has to touch, at any point of the ball, has to touch above the line. So for the guys, it's 10 foot. It's going to be above the green. For the girls, it's going to be touching the green. That's 9 feet. The synchro, Miguel, come on over, is going to be at the bottom of the squat. So it can touch at different points, but as long as you guys are together at the bottom of the squat, that's a good rep. So go ahead and give me a couple, guys. So as long as they're at the bottom together, they're good. Now, if you start to mess up, one person can wait for them. Go ahead and give me a wait, Nick. And you're good to go with those reps. Okay, that's the synchro, those are the wall balls. All right, let's talk about the cleans. On the synchro cleans, again, bar starts from the bottom. The synchro is at the top of the cleans, guys. So as they clean, they gotta make sure that they're in control of the bar together. Then they can move on to their next rep. So what you have to watch for is throwing it off your shoulders before your partner gets it onto their bar. So give me a couple of those, Nick, so where you come down. Yeah, so Nick's not extended yet. We want to make sure that you guys show control at the top and you're not doing one of these things, cleaning and coming down before you clean. Make sure you guys are paused at the top for a slight second or a quick half a second for the rep to count. Make sure you have every single one of those. Now, both feet have to be inside of the section. The barbells, I don't really care where the barbells are. So if they move, that's fine, as long as both feet are inside of that section. The men will be using the short bars at 35 pounds plus the weight, and the girls will be using their normal bars at 35 pounds. So again, you guys can walk them or roll the bars to the next section. Remember, you're doing that when you start the next section. So they're onto their wall balls. They just finished their wall balls. Now they're moving it this way. Okay, so they will have to roll their bars or pick up their bars and move them to the next section. We want you to move them upon start of the section. So we don't want you to move them, put them down, and walk them to the next section before you start it. So we want you to move them before you start the section, and those are the synchro cleans. All right, let's talk about the standards for the handstand walk, okay? You're gonna always start behind each of the green cones and the yellow line. Both feet have to be behind the line. They cannot be touching it. The hands don't matter. The hands can come out in front of the line. So as he starts, he can also angle. He doesn't have to start straight since he's going that way. He can also angle that way as he goes. Now, when he comes around the cone, he has to come completely around the cone with both hands. If he touches it, it's fine as long as it doesn't fall over, okay? Touching the cone is fine as long as it doesn't go over. Now, if you touch the cone, but your hand comes inside of the cone and you touch it and your hands are inside of the cone, then that is a no rep, okay? So Nick's gonna go as long as both hands completely pass over the line of the next section, he can stop, okay? At that point, that would have been a no rep because he knocked over the cone before both hands were over it. He would have to start back on this line again. So he'd have another attempt back there and can come forward again. Once you pass this line or each section, then that section is completely done. You start at the section behind you. So that is the handstand walk for the RX division. As just a quick note on the handstand walk, there is a tiebreaker. So say for instance, there is only one person who can do the full thing. Your tiebreaker is the time the first person finishes. So there is no tiebreaker if the first person doesn't finish and two teams get the same amount of sections complete. But if the first person finishes, the judge will write down that time, and that time will be the tiebreaker in case there is a tie, which there may just likely be a tie between 2 or 3 teams that have only one person who can complete it. Now, if they complete it, doesn't matter how fast they are, but if the second person gets one section, that's already above the team that went really fast on their one person that finished. So it's 6, each section is a rep. So 1, 2, 3, 4 sections is 1 rep, but 5 always beats 4 no matter how 4 fast was done.